Hi everyone, Vegas from Critic here. Jeffrey K. Howard here to review Captive State, starring John Goodman, Vera Farmiga, Machine Gun Kelly, Ashston Sanders, and aliens. The aliens are here. Oh, directed by Ruper Wyatt. The aliens have landed, and human beings can't fight them. They either face total annihilation or surrender. We surrender. And the movie takes place now 10 years later, and we're in suburban Chicago, where we find that there are two camps of people living now, the collaborators and the resistance fighters. And so this is a unique story from a perspective that we're not used to, finding about how the aliens have oppressed humans and about their ability to get their freedom back. And this is a worldwide phenomenon, but this whole story takes place in Chicago. And so you'll have the resistance through the eyes of Ashston Sanders, who is I thought he was a teenager. I guess he's in his 20s. And it's about him trying to relay information and terrorist acts to destroy these guys. Even though the movie does it in pieces because it's such a worldwide thing, can you imagine? It's almost like the Nazis, right? It looked very much like World War II and fascism to me while watching this. And John Goodman plays a commander in the police force who's on the trail of the resistors. And the resistance are communicating, we find out, through the want ads, through the classifieds under Phoenix. So he figures this out, but of course nobody wants to believe him. And Stephen Dunn plays the head police officer of the whole thing. And he's like, look, just stay in line. Don't make any trouble, because it's not about doing the right thing, for the aliens. It's just about keeping your head down and getting by with the little as possible, not to draw attention. So this is a really unconventional sci-fi film, and I'm a big sci-fi fan. And what I love about this is that Ruper Wyatt's style, even though people complain that I've heard about how choppy the movie is and how sometimes it's not very linear in terms of the story, I think that adds to the tension in the movie. I think he was doing it on purpose, or if not, it really works to the film's credit, because you don't know who to trust. You don't know all these different ruses going on if someone's an enemy or someone's a friend. There are people spying in the windows because they want you to tell them. It's just, you'll get better treatment if you turn people over to the spies. And you see the aliens totally turning human beings against each other. So this is a really oppressive society, and the aliens are all underground. And when we do see the aliens, and we see them very little, they are, I always want to say, okay, how are you going to come up with a cool looking alien? Well, they did. It looks like a giant porcupine. Hard to explain. You got to see it to experience it. But the pacing of the film, the tension in the film is really amazing. This is such a great, what I like to call a real down and dirty sci-fi. I like Blade Runner, the original. I love that industrial kind of nasty because, the aliens destroy major sections of Chicago to get rid of the resistance fighters. And so they live among the rubble, and people just do everything they can to survive. And of course, there's also class in this. There's a different type of class of people who are collaborators who live a much better lifestyle, but there's still poverty, and there's still all kinds of social problems going on, even with the aliens there. And of course, the aliens have an ulterior motive too. They're not there to rule, they're to take our resources and say bye-bye. So it's a complicated film, it's a rich layered film, and Ruper Wyatt really delivers this incredible science fiction that's going to be one of the best films of the year and be talked about for years to come. And also John Goodman, I just adore that guy. He can do comedy, he can do musicals, he can do everything, and he is just this no-holds-barred cop who's just going to get to the bottom of the truth, and there's lots of twists in the movie too. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, so don't worry about that. Check out Captive State. It's one of my favorite films of the year. We're in March already. How to start a top 10 list? It's right there at number 1. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Also, check me out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Come on, subscribe. Thumbs up and comment below. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.